Spark a conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, education. This is Menage with the Mary Jane Maven. When we on the air, it's always a lituation. Might talk about some litigation, might talk about some immigration, might talk about some politics, but never talking nonsense. Yes, we on in the slide. Watch and listen, it's a vibe. Watch it while you getting high, or you can listen while you drive. Just don't forget to subscribe.
Roll up. Trying to get high.
Welcome to Menage with the Mary Jane Maven podcast with your host, the Mary Jane Maven. I am the producer, the hubby. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Show us some love and click that subscribe button now. Don't forget to click the bell so you get notifications and click the like button on the videos.
And now, your host.
So hello, everybody. I am so happy to have you back with your girl, Mary Jane Maven. I hope that you guys have had a completely elevated, happy existence, happy cannabinoid system, happy chemistry, happy life. We're going to steal that a little bit from happy wife, happy life. I hope that you guys had a wonderful 420. We've been busy. We've been busy with creating content. And so our platform has changed a little bit where we went from like live episodes to you will get them. Okay. They're there. They're coming. We have a few in the arsenal. Isn't that right? The hubby.
Yeah, they're just in post-production right now.
Yes. And he is, you know how great that he's done on the podcast in this almost 3 years. It's become his baby and as well as the others. So he takes a lot of time in post-production, guys, to make sure that we're getting you the right product. And that I shine, as I naturally do. But welcome, guys. I love you. I miss you. And tonight we have a fantastic episode for you. Me, I talk excessively. When I meet people, I'm all about their positivity and their energy. And tonight's guest co-host, I like to talk them up a bit, so I don't want to give you too much. But tonight's guest co-host is somebody that I met. What was it? 2-3 months ago now? Probably 3 months.
Yeah.
At an event here in Sacramento. I talked to you guys about it when it happened and was very, very excited that this event was being put on. Shout out to Sac Confidential. Oh my gosh, I just drew a blank on what I was going to say. That's where puts in the sound effects. But we met there. We were next to each other. Actually, our booths were next to each other. And I'll just save a little bit for you, but let me say the positive energy and the color of her, aura and, amber is the color that just popped in my head. Her energy is definitely an amber, beautiful, just golden energy. And I immediately knew, that I had to introduce myself, get to know this goddess, this queen, and get her on the podcast so that you guys as well can get to know her, because guarantee she's going to leave a footprint of significance and inspiration on your life. So you heard her voice. You've probably seen her. I don't know, the producer, he's great at his thing. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed my backdrop. I have to go ahead and give a shout out first and foremost to the best NBA team to ever do it. Shout out to my homies. I act like everybody's my best friend. Shout out to Steph and Clay Bay and all the new additions to the squad this year. We are in playoffs. We did just do the thing and pull out a good win last night. So you guys will be seeing the Warriors championship, some of the swag that we have pretty much until we win the whole thing, because we're going to win.
Have you introduced her? I know you described her, but did you actually introduce her?
I'm going to.
Gotcha.
Thank you, producer. He does a good job. So today's quote we're going to start off with really quickly here is, I am strong because I've been weak. I am fearless because I've been afraid. Fearless. I can read. I am fearless because I've been afraid. You really want to have fierceness, not fierceless, as I said. I am wise because I've been foolish. This is something that we all need to be accountable of. We all, we're not perfect beings. I am this close, but there's sometimes that we have, we make mistakes, and those mistakes are actually lessons in disguise. We stumble, but that's only so that we can get back up and walk again. I mean, you look at a baby that's newly walking, those poor babies, little tink tinks, they just be falling all over the place, bumping into shit, but that doesn't stop them. They don't just sit down and look at you like, well, what did you do next? It's innate in them to continue and to evolve. And so it's the same with us. So I'm a quote girl. I love quotes. And, it kind of now leads me into introducing our guest co-host, because I think that she can relate to that quote. And I think it's a good foundation for what she's going to share today, and for you guys to get to know a little bit about her. So our guest co-host today is somebody that, like I said, I had the pleasure of meeting a couple of months ago. She is a true divine and universally purposed individual. She's a goddess with a creative and an artistic soul, talent, and mind that is so prevalent. It is so obvious that it's meant to, you to be utilized to leave a footprint of, like I said, positivity and inspiration on the lives of others, if not the world. And I undoubtedly, I'm a little bit of a psychic, but I have with no doubt in my mind that she will definitely do just that. Provide you with, like I said, her amber energy, her caring soul. And we all need women that really can identify with the goddess that they are and their strengths and even their weaknesses, to turn those weaknesses into strengths, because they're just, their strengths in disguise. They're in training. Your weaknesses are that to say. So she is definitely going to be somebody that walks within her passion and purpose, all the while claiming her space in our society, and within the cannabis community and within the community of, the City of Trees. She's going to be somebody who leaves, like I said, that inspiration of powerful motivation, and, the blessing of her art as well. I do have a piece of her artwork, but before I continue to go on, please welcome to the podcast our very special guest co-host, Shannon. And I'm going to say Shan Smokes. Shan Smokes Shatter. I am very, very happy to have you here. I will call you an artist, a canna artist, a goddess who is truly tapping into what her passion and purpose is, and probably somebody who took her talent in art kind of for granted until you started on your journey and your evolution, which has you where you are now, and you're utilizing your voice and your message that you have, your message that everybody has a life message, but that life message throughout your art. So
yeah,
I want to thank you so much. I'm very grateful to have you here, and to jump into all the bullshit that these episodes and these my interest can bring, and to share, like I said, who you are, to raise the awareness of what your talents are, and to really let the people of the City of Trees and everywhere else know the blessing and the honest queen that you are. So once again, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be here.
So before we get started deep into everything today, I did want to go ahead and let you guys know a little bit about this episode and our sponsorship. So this episode and the podcast is sponsored by the network that we actually, where you can find us. It's one of the many places that you can find our episodes and my content, but it is Full Swap Radio. Okay, Full Swap Radio, guys. You know that is one of the platforms, like I said, that you'd be able to find our content. We just actually were added to the Apple Store. So you can download the app there. We've already been in the Google Play or like the Android store. You can download the app and listen to all of the shows that are, part of the network. But I did want to give them a little shout out because Full Swap has been nominated for one of the top 5 best businesses. And I want to make sure I get the verbiage right. I don't want to explain it my own way. as I tend to do. They are up for the best supporting business. They have made the top 5 list, and you guys can go on and vote. Go download the app or follow, then follow our podcast. I've mentioned it before, of course, Menage. But we would love for you guys to go ahead and support, because without them, I wouldn't be able to create this great content, and you guys wouldn't have me in your life. You would still. But what you could do is the hubby. And when you guys see this video, we will go ahead and put the link at the bottom of the video, and you guys can click directly on the link. We do ask that you vote up to the 2 times per day that you are able to vote. We would love to get your support for Full Swap Radio to win the best supporting business at the ASN, and I'm sorry, I did not say that, but the ASN awards this year. So shout out to them. Thank you for your support. We love you. Secondly, I want to give a little shout out to Broccoli Mag. I did learn that they are local here. And I wish I would have known that before you guys, spent on the shipping and handling. I would have brought my ass right across and picked these up. But Broccoli Mag is a great publication, you guys. You can just go ahead and get the reduced monthly issue, or like the newsletter from them if you join. But they were very kind to go ahead and send me copies for me to raffle off and for my 420 event. So a few of you have won it. You've already been contacted, but if anybody wants this, it's a really cool piece of content to have. I mean, thumbing through it a little bit here, this will be a good kind of little coffee table book, some great information. And it is a piece of content that we need to help to normalize this industry. So shout out to Broccoli Mag. Well, like I said, located here in the City of Trees. If you guys don't know, Google, find out what that means or where we are. You should know, though. There's only one City of Trees. Everybody else tell you different. So as we get started, I'm really trying to stall as much as possible before getting to the spark and salutations, because I am waiting on my delivery. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because it's still another 15 minutes. So we will get you guys the opportunity. We don't want you to wait, although I wouldn't if I was listening or, I couldn't see you. Vice versa. I'd probably be lit already. But go ahead. You guys know what this is as we get started. The spark and salutations. So roll up your sativa, your hybrid, your indica, get your edible, get your wax, get your torch, get all ready. Let's get elevated. I will be joining you guys expeditiously. So we want to talk about, part of the comments here, what we do during Spark and Salutations is we ask, what are you puffing on? What is your obsession with the plant right now? So what is your obsession? Tell us a little bit about how you are medicating. Oh, Shannon, sorry.
You're busy. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was I'm just smoking on this backwood. The banana backwoods have been my favorite lately. So,
oh my gosh, aren't they so good?
Yes.
I tried backwoods first. I'm gonna give it to you. It must be a thing. I'm a little bit older, just a little bit, but I cannot spend and make the investment that backwoods costs. 1, 2. I watched you. You rolled that like it's nothing, and you don't put a little bit in there. Like the event that we were at.
Yeah,
it was a lot of guys, and these guys came in there and they were rolling like probably almost a fucking quarter, and like backwoods. And I'm sitting there watching them like, well, first I'm glad that I'm in the vicinity because that's gonna get passed this way. But then I look over to my left and she's rolling just as much as I was like, okay, she's keeping up with the big dogs in here. And what I observed is that you and your guest that was with you, you guys smoked more than the guys that were kind of walking around rolling. I mean, if I wanted to be a scavenger, I could have walked away with a lot of almost smoked, but not quite smoked, backwoods that were put out there.
Yeah.
I laughed at how much they were putting out. Like they were taking 2-3 puffs. It was going around the circle. And somebody would put it out. And I was like, oh, you would get smoked under the table. But I love the banana. I love that. First of all, me and bananas, anything. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything. You make some good banana pudding, we can be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
people ask me my favorite cakes for my birthday, and I'm like, anything banana. And people look at me like, what?
Banana cream pie.
Oh my gosh. I went to
Yes.
Nations recently. And like I said, I'm trying to be good on my snacks. So it was so hard for me not to get a slice of banana cream pie. It was so hard. If you guys don't know about Nations and their pies, that's if you have a Nations Hamburgers in your area and you have not tried their pies, get yourself together right now.
Their burgers are better.
He loves our burgers. He loves our burgers. Have you ever had Nations?
I have. That was like when I was a kid. That was very nostalgic for me.
Yes. My family is in the East Bay in Pittsburgh, and that was like a thing. You either went to the hamburger stand, which was like 19-cent cheeseburgers and hamburgers after church, or you went to Nations. So
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. All right. Got a text message, guys. And hopefully I'm gonna be able to send the hubby out. But if not,
she won't.
If not, I'm gonna step away from the camera for a second. But you always have the entertaining voice of hubby. Now this one says 9 o'clock. Y'all better stop playing.
They keep pushing it.
They do. So they send you a text message from the actual driver that'll tell you to track his time. So I just refreshed that. And yep, it does say 9 o'clock, even though he's only 2 stops away, like I said, on Fruit Ridge. For those of you that live in the area or that you're familiar, I stay off of Bruceville, okay, and Valley High, let's just say.
Allegedly.
Right. Somewhere in between that area, guys. But Fruit Ridge to what exit you would take, there's a couple that you could take off the freeway, but should that take 19 minutes? Those of you that know the area, comment, let me know if you think that's ridiculous.
And do not try coming knocking.
Please don't. I mean, yeah, don't. Yeah, I've said a couple of times where we live across the street from too. See, somebody might figure it out. I know I have stands, but let's not. That's total joke. Total tongue in cheek. So, yes, we were talking about bananas, right? Yes,
bananas,
Nation, everything. Yes. See, I do remember stuff. Smokers do remember. So, for our wedding, we went to go get our cake, and my only thing was like, I want a banana cake. Like I wanted chocolate cake part, and I wanted the filling to be bananas. Oh, I was so excited. And I had a really good baker who was like, you don't want that in the summertime. I was getting married in September, Labor Day weekend, and it's always hot. He goes, you don't want that. Nobody will eat your cake, and you will be very, very upset. And I was like, no, I like bananas and shit when they, have ripened a lot. So like I like really good, almost kind of brown but firm bananas in like my banana, pudding. Or best thing I've had is this flavor of banana ice cream. It's a banana flavored ice cream. That's kind of like Chunky Monkey. I used to sit and eat a whole pint of Chunky Monkey. But I've gotten into coconut based ice cream and things like that. Costs a little bit more, but there's a great banana creme brulee, and I can't remember the name of the brand. So freaking good. Oh my gosh, so good. So everybody's like, what the fuck is this banana talk? So getting back to the bananas. Yeah, right. If you guys don't know, you should. I like the King Palms. So I like the banana cream and the King Palms. Yeah. And actually I'm getting some banana cream strain delivered, hopefully in 16 minutes. Shout out to the Monterey Company. They have a banana cream, 34% THC, get you to where you need to be. So probably roll that up first since I talked about it. But so is that your favorite? I mean, we know that the backwood is your favorite, but what's kind of your favorite strain right now, or what's your kind of go-to?
I go to like anything wedding cake, like anything that's a cake strain. I primarily dab, so like I would say backwoods, like they're kind of like my guilty pleasure is what I call it, because it's like I don't drink alcohol at all. I only smoke, so it's like this is kind of like my guilty pleasure. But I would say the dabbing.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So I tell me a little bit about your dabbing life. I met a young lady the other day, and I'm actually going to talk about her brand new brand. So you guys, please be on the lookout for this brand new brand that is coming out in Sacramento. But we were talking the other day, and she says, "I'm a pretty heavy smoker." I was like, "Me too, girl." She's like, "I do about 10 grams, 11 grams per day." I was like, "Oh shit." Okay.
Oh wow.
And she smokes all pre-rolls, and then she dabs a lot too.
Yeah.
So Ellis, I think it's something that it's becoming more normalized and just more prevalent for people to utilize, start using dabs as part of, how they medicate. So tell me a little bit about your favorite, either brands, and just a little bit about your dabbing journey.
I would say I actually started dabbing like when I was 18 years old.
Okay.
I had first tried it. I actually worked my way up to it. So I had been smoking weed, and then I started smoking hash, and then that's when I had worked my way up to the concentrates. And I don't know, it was a very powerful high, and it was definitely very convenient. So that was something that I really liked about it. Was initially it was like kind of just one and done. And it was like I could take one hit. Oh my gosh, I could go to sleep.
Right.
I could eat. Yeah, it was just so
Cough
convenient.
your ass off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember your very first dab? And
I do.
If you remember the strain of it, or was it, and was it chatter? Was it, straight wax?
It was just straight wax, but I don't remember the strain of it. But I remember I took it out of like a 3-foot bong. It was like or it was a zong. Yes, it was like a zong. Yeah.
Like you were going for it. You're like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Do it right.
Exactly. We going in.
So, when were you just with friends? Did you obviously? Your first experience with another form of the plant, especially when you're taking it out of a fucking 3-foot, contraption. There, you definitely got head high, body high, full spectrum. So, do you remember, what you felt like, or like when you realized, like, I am high?
Yeah. I was with my boyfriend and his friends. And so like his friends were really big into dabbing. So that was kind of like, why I got into it, like that whole scene and stuff. And we were actually in his grandma's apartment. And so we were in the bathroom, and I just remember like taking this hit. And after that, it was like, I just felt so high, and like everything just was so funny, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is, I tell people all the time, so my husband was not a fan. He was like, I do not want to have to get a toolbox with a fucking torch. He's like, and every time we see somebody do it, they lay out a mat, and they got to take this out, they got to put it together, and then this, and if the torch doesn't have butane, then you got to get butane. And I was like, I get it. I worked at nope, it wasn't Hall of Flowers. It was Emerald Cup.
You have been worked the Emerald Cup before.
So it was Emerald Cup, and I was with the company just doing some, it was right when dispensaries were getting big and when they were, getting their licenses. And so I worked with a company that put live menus and like actually have their own kind of cannabis-based content. So instead of putting on like, fucking Family Guy, which is hilarious to me, high or not. Instead of putting on How High and, just shit on repeat, you could have cannabis-based content that would relate to your clients, and then brands could also buy ad space. So, you have people sitting in the waiting room watching this, and they're able to go, oh shit, you know what? I just saw a commercial for that. So Eighth Brothers, for example, so I was working with them, and it was a long day, a very, very long day. Like I was probably doing 12 hours. And then after that, they were like, you have to come to the after party. And it was in Santa Rosa. And, I have a great hubby that is out, he knows I know how to drive and shit, but he's like, you may not be able to go after party. I was like, I got this. So after a day of being at this event where you could just smoke at the booth, and the company I was with, we set up that 70 show basement as for people to just like, as you're walking around and you're high, come sit down, come sit on the couch, smoke, hang out, so it was a lot of fun. And I got past lots of blunts and joints that day. But so I was taking a break, and I was going around, and I had a ban on that allowed people to just go, here, you want this? You want this? Try this. So what happened? Are you fucking serious? Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you heard the hubby, but the Supreme Court is getting ready to strike down Roe v. Wade. Texas, thank you, because I think of them banning and outlawing abortion. This has started the conversation, and clearly because people probably from Texas have, brought up, lawsuits against the state and whatnot. I would assume, which is why it's now in front of the Supreme Court. And I cannot believe that 30, 40 plus years after giving the women the right to determine whether they want to have babies or not, or I'm sorry, to have control over their own reproductive systems, we're going to take steps back and take that right away. And I'm just doing a real gloss over that, because if I start to talk about it, Shannon will be like, did she really have me on here to talk about Supreme Court? I will get on my soapbox. I am very passionate about we individuals, and especially within America, us having our right to determine how our wellness is. We should have complete control over our bodies.
I agree.
Oh my gosh, that just shook me. So, wow, let's add that to, the time that we remember when this happened, just like when the coronavirus started happening, we were recording and the NBA shut down. And I was like, oh shit, this corona shit is for real. So that was during an episode of the podcast too. So, wow. That just shook me. That really kind of shook me. Looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of research on that after tonight's episode and finding out the book. Oh, okay. So, well, I definitely need my delivery to hurry up and get here. Wow. That was, I'm rarely speechless, and I'm kind of speechless right now, guys. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to jump back. I'm going to get back into my train of thought here. So yes, I was at the Emerald Cup. It's gone 5 minutes. It's now 9:05. Good Lord. Okay, so I went on break and they were like, you've been here talking your ass off, like go take a very long break. So I went around and people were giving me shit, and I stopped by, this guy who was giving dabs. And I said, oh, tell me a little bit about this. I'm somewhat familiar, but, never tried. I had actually tried it once with a friend of mine from high school. And we were grown-ass woman driving around trying to find a park to smoke in because she lived with her grandmother. And that's when I was like, I am too old for this shit. I haven't driven around to go find somewhere to smoke in years. But so I'm talking to him, and he actually says, well, ma'am, strike number one. The fuck are you talking to?
Right.
Your grandmother is not anywhere around here. Neither is your mother. Please do not call me ma'am. And I say that, and I joke about it, but I think it definitely takes, some people aback, like, well, shit, I'm being courteous. Don't call me miss. So yes, he says, well, ma'am, I don't know if you have the ability to handle this. Strike number two. Don't you dare. Don't you ever discount my ability to smoke. Okay.
Yeah.
I started smoking late, but I dedicate myself to some good shit. And then he says, well, if you're really just a flower smoker, like what would be the point? It's not like you're ever going to go make the investment. Wax is pretty expensive. And I was like, you don't know. And strike number three, why are you checking my pockets and my bank account?
Yeah.
So roll that up, put it up. And he goes, dab it. Great. Give me a dab. Little smart ass. So I take a hit, and I'm taking a hit like it's, off a dab rig, like it's a bong.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, if you have had kids, you will know this as a mother. You can start to cough, and sometimes instead of letting the cough out, maybe your bladder's a little weak, and so you may just a little trickle of pee or whatnot. So I started feeling that, and I felt my eyes start to fill up with water. Not crying, but because I was trying to hold in the cough so much. Then I immediately felt the elevation start from like my toes going all the way up. So because I didn't want to cough in front of him and look like a bitch, I was like, I backed up to the nearest corner away from him that he was not within earshot, and I coughed, and I stood in this corner and I coughed for no less than 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I then had to find the latest bathroom or the nearest bathroom. And while I was there, I texted hubby and I said, I don't know how long I've been walking around, but I am fucking lit. And he's like, what did you do? And I was like, I took a dab. And he's like, oh, there you go with that. And so I'm walking around and wandering at this point because I was so high. And I kept, I would see food and I'm eating it. It's infused. So on top of the high, and I do remember that it was a mimosa. It was a mimosa strain. And something is telling me that it was Alien Lamps, but I don't think that's what it was.
Okay.
It's the other. There's a 710 brand, right?
Yeah, 710 Labs.
Yes, it was them.
Ooh, okay.
So it was right in the beginning. Like, if I probably Googled them right now, I'd probably find out when they were a winner of the Emerald Cup that year because they actually won.
Okay.
So,
welcome to Menage with the Mary Jane Maven podcast with your host, the Mary Jane Maven. I am the producer, the hubby. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Show us some love and click that subscribe button now. Don't forget to click the bell so you get notifications and click the like button on the videos.
And now, your host,